All right. You already know what it is, man. Another show, RBN, the RBN show. I'm here, Nutty New Bucks. I'm gonna let this gentleman introduce his own self.
My name is Johnny Berry. I'm from Philadelphia. I served 23 years in jail for a crime I had absolutely nothing to do with.
So you already know what that means. We're about to get into some real deep conversation right now. You know what I'm saying? So my first thing is I'm gonna start off with you. How you doing today, man?
I'm alright, man. I'm happy to be here, man. I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh man, it's a pleasure. I was looking forward to this interview because I really never dealt with nobody that did 23 years for a crime that they never did. Everybody that I know always committed the crime.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So now I actually get a chance to talk to somebody that was convicted for something that they didn't do.
Right.
My first question is, and I've been dying to ask you this, is how old were you when you first got locked up?
16, man. I was 16 years old.
How was that?
Oh, man.
Like your mind process, like when they first threw them cuffs on you, like how did that feel? Like what was your outlook on that? Like
Looking back now, it made me feel like I was being like kidnapped.
copy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kidnapped, taken to a place where, I didn't want to be and I wasn't supposed to be there in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
16. That's you still a child.
Yeah.
You ain't even hit puberty yet. You ain't
Yeah,
get no
right,
girls, no nothing. So at 16 and you getting locked up, how does your family feel about that? Like I know how you felt, but how does your family feel? Your mom, sister?
Good question. My family was destroyed by this. You know what I'm saying?
Copy.
You gotta remember, we came from a household of being poor, like a lot of our neighborhoods.
Yes,
So
sir.
what we did have is love.
Yes, sir.
We had connection. We had that bond. I was an integral part of my family.
Right,
You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? I'm the first of 5 children. So like
Deep,
taking me
deep.
away from my mother and my father is like, taking away their beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like your life being taken away and their life being taken away as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Copy.
Yeah.
So, when you first got them cuffs on you, and you went into that facility, because every child, every man, when they first get locked up, they nervous, they scared. The fact that you didn't know how it was going to turn out, what was in your mind as you was going through the system?
I had to be instantly, what ran through my mind is I had to become a man.
Copy.
I had to become a man because I didn't know what to expect beyond those bars and beyond the concrete and steel.
Right,
I heard the stories, violence, and it was very volatile.
And Philly is tough.
Yeah, it's tough, and it was even tougher then. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah, so I was ready. That was my mindset.
Copy. So, them 23 years that you did, I know you missed out on a lot. I know your family missed out on a lot. As you was in that cell, did you feel like you was gonna come home at one point?
There were points where I felt like I wasn't gonna make it out. But I never was hard with that.
Right.
I believed in my heart that I know I was innocent.
Right.
And for the most part, I knew I was gonna come out. But there were points, man. I had some low points, man. To tell you the truth.
Copy. All right. So check this. I'm gonna bring it back. Before you even got locked up, how was your life? At 16 years old, as a child, as a kid, what was you doing?
Okay, at 16, like I told you, I came from a household, a mother and father. My father worked. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, but what we did have was love, and we was poor.
Copy.
So you go from off of my steps and turn right or left. The drug game is right there in your face. So for me,
especially in Philly.
Right, and I was introduced to the crack early. You know what I mean?
Copy.
We like I said, we was poor, we needed money. I was in the streets, and I got involved with a gang, and that's when we was really involved with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what my life was like.
And yeah, like I said, Philly. My family's from Philly. I've been out there. Them Philly streets is tough, man. It's just like New York.
Yeah, it's
you know what
tough,
I'm saying?
man,
But it's
yeah.
just like I feel like Philly's a little bit rougher. You know what I'm saying? So getting locked up at 16 it's crazy to do 23 years and come home. Like, how did you feel when you was in there? Like the first year you was in there.
The first year I was in there, to be honest, because I was so young, looking back, I felt like I was gonna leave any day.
Copy.
I felt like, I remember I used to count the Fridays. Okay, damn, they kept me for another Friday. I'm thinking about a party that I can make it to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In my youthful thinking.
So as you're going through this process, every year that went by, you just thinking that you're gonna come out.
Yeah, for the most part.
every year.
This took place for about maybe 12 years straight.
And after that, you just realized that
Yeah, it was real. Shit was real.
they fucking with you.
Yeah, shit real. Like, I started saying my friends, you know, people I call my family, we grew up in the places.
Right.
Started to go home, and I'm still here. And then I'm like, wow, man, you know, when is my turn? You know what I'm saying?
You just watching people go.
Yeah.
Watching people
Droves
go.
of people just leave, man. And it's a hurtful feeling, you know what I'm
I
saying?
can imagine.
Because we become a family, in a sense, you know what I'm saying? It's a community.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes,
a
sir.
different community, but it's a community nonetheless.
At being 16, how did the facility treat you?
Well, you got to remember, when I was first incarcerated and sent upstate, we got sent to the rural areas of Pennsylvania,
Copy.
where it's largely run by Caucasian coal-mining individuals who hadn't been introduced to a lot of black people in their life. Some never saw black people until they entered into the jail and started working for the prison industrial complex. So for me, it was like a culture shock. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you was mixed with all kind of varieties in there.
Yeah. Mostly white. You know what I'm saying? As far as on the standpoint of just people just like guards working like that.
Right.
Mostly white people who didn't like black people at all.
I can imagine, because even out here in the correctional facilities out here, Rikers Island, the Boat, you know what I'm saying, jails upstate, like, they are real nasty, you know what I'm saying? I have family that was locked up, my little brother was locked up, and he used to tell me like, yo bro, this shit out here is crazy. These boys out here do not like black people at all.
Yeah.
So I can imagine how Philly is, because they hit you with football numbers out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at 16, I could imagine what you was going through. The facility that you was placed in, was you placed in one, or was you transferred to different places?
I spent most of my time, like I said, in the rural areas of Pennsylvania.
Copy.
I spent like most of my time. Then I left and went to closer to home. You know what I'm saying? Greater Forest State Prison,
Copy.
which was like predominantly black. You know what I'm saying? Black ran,
Right.
mostly black people in there. So I felt, I hate to say it, but kind of like more at home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all already know what that is, man. More home. Not a place where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, not a place where you want to be. But, you know, another question I wanted to ask you is, at 16, the eating, your body changes. Everything changes. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So how long did it take for you to adapt to that kind of atmosphere?
Yeah. Looking back, it took a while, man. Like, you gotta remember, like you said, coming from home, being
Right.
so young,
Right.
being under a condition where you're nurtured by your mom and your father,
Right.
and then you got a host of friends and family members to be deprived of all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have any siblings in there with you?
No family members. I was like that's another thing. I was like the only one, you know, stripped from my liberties for something I didn't do.
Right.
My family wasn't, you know.
But you got brothers and sisters?
Yeah. One of my brothers, a year younger than me, he was murdered while I was in prison.
Rest
You know
in
what I'm saying?
wow.
Yeah, he was murdered. Well, the first year, as a matter of fact.
Word?
Yeah, when I was when I had got convicted and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, my brother was murdered.
That's what they hit you with.
Yeah, without the possibility.
Damn.
That's what life means in Pennsylvania.
Copy.
It's not like here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's life without the possibility of parole.
Damn, that's deep.
Yeah.
At 16.
So that was hanging over my head.
I know it hurt.
Yeah.
I know it hurt. I know out here in some facilities when a family member gets locked up, they allow the inmate to come out to, you know what I'm saying, to the funeral. Did they allow you at least to come out to the funeral?
Good question, bro. No. You know what I mean? I wasn't able to see my brother buried. And on top of that, you know, I lost my mother when I was in there.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? My best
bro.
friend. I didn't go to her funeral. I wasn't allowed because I had life without the possibility of parole.
Damn, that's
so
deep.
on top of that, on top of being in a place where I was never supposed to be to begin with,
Copy.
you tell me I can't go see my mother and my brother for the final time.
Right.
You know,
Did any family members, any family members allowed to come see you?
Yeah, I had visits all the time, man. Like I said, I come from a background of like love, man, you know, support. So it didn't stop because I went behind the wall.
Well, I could tell just by the way you talk and your character, you know what I'm saying, your body vibes. I could tell you're a good person, and I'm pretty sure you learned from the experience. This 23 years in life, that shit is, I can't even imagine how, I don't even know how that would feel. You feel what I'm saying? But in there, you said you made friends. Did you have enemies? Because I know in jail, you know, it's a lot of people in there that don't like you just because of your skin color.
Yeah, I didn't have too much of that. I think a lot of my animosities came from the streets. You know, like I said, you know, I wasn't an angel prior to going in. So I've done things, and we had to see them same people behind the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I told you at that time, it wasn't no
game.
Man, we had to for the first maybe 6, 7 months to a year, it was all gang war. You know, I didn't want to be involved. Now,
Right. But you affiliated with it because that's what you.
Right.
You had it's there.
Right.
It's
right,
there.
Right.
Now, with the gang wars, people dying,
Right.
getting stabbed up.
All the time.
I know that's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
How did that affect you? Like, did you stay now that you out? Like, does that jail mentality still play in your head, or you just like left that all behind? Like, cause some people come home and they stuck on that jail shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some
Right.
people come home and they want to do positive, they want to do good, but they just can't.
Right.
When you came home, was it hard? Is it hard?
The transition was hard. You know, being gone so long.
Right.
I was suffering from. I come to realize from a standpoint of just a total loss, man. So yeah, it was hard, man. I remember one time, one of my family members, I was waiting for them to come pick me up on the corner.
Copy.
Summertime, everybody moving about. I had overwhelming anxiety. I thought somebody was gonna do something to me.
Oh man.
I broke down in tears. You know what I'm saying?
I
I didn't know that. You know.
That anxiety is deep.
Yeah.
That anxiety is deep. So
Yeah.
you being in there for so long, I could imagine how that affected you. Now, with the correctional facility, for you being in there so long, did they respect you for after the 10 years or 12 years, or did you always have problems with the facility? Because I know them cops up there, and I'm pretty sure they didn't like black people, but did they give you a problem all the time?
Well, to answer your question, this is like a yes and no. For me, going in so young, I told you it was like a culture shock.
Right.
I demanded my respect.
You had to.
And that came with button heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
sir.
they didn't like me. It's not that I didn't even like them.
Right.
But I had to make you respect me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not
right.
going. You're going to treat me as a man.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Got
We
you.
got different social backgrounds and cultural upbringings, but that's how you come to know people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't realize that, and they don't want to realize that.
Copy.
But to answer your question, they had to respect me.
Okay, got you. The respect thing, that comes a long way. You know what I'm saying? So, because I know out here, people get locked up. I had a couple of friends that got locked up. Like I said, I never got locked up, but I do my biz with my people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, though.
When you locked up, I know you got family that come and see you. Did you have any friends that came to see you that you was out in the street with? Because I know you, back and forth with this gang shit, you make a lot of friends, you make a lot of enemies. Then you turn friends into enemies.
Yeah.
Enemies into friends.
Yeah.
Did that happen?
Good question, man. Solid question, man. The answer is no. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch on a little bit now, if I could.
Copy.
Like I told you, when I first got into the game, man, it was for the camaraderie, the love, man. But it's all false and it was fake. They didn't really love me.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying? I was expendable. So to answer your question, no, I didn't receive no visits from them. And it's not because I did anything imprinciple or unprincipled, if that's the word.
Right.
But because they didn't have principles. You know what I'm saying?
Copy.
They didn't keep to their word.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying?
Copy.
And that's what the game is. It's an illusion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we tearing ourselves down, our families and communities down based on an illusion.
Exactly. Now, I have another question as far as females, because you got locked up at 16, so 16, you didn't really get a chance to like really mingle with no ladies or anything like that. So, did you have female friends that came up there to see you and really, you know what I'm saying, really try to cope with you and tell you it's going to be okay? Because everybody needs love.
Yeah, so to answer your question, I was kind of the exception to what I told you.
Right.
My lifestyle was a little different. I came from a standpoint of having money, doing adult things. So I did. I didn't take.
Right,
I didn't take a lot of money at an early age. I did. So,
right.
But when you come to jail, man, and like I told you, the lifestyle, man, that we call the game is an illusion.
Yeah.
So the women and the girls, they allure to the glitz and the glamour. Not me, man.
Right.
Very
materialistic shit.
Right. Like you don't really have that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you find that one that ride for you, that put them years in for you, that's the one that you come home to, and that's the one that you dedicate yourself to, like I did.
Copy. Oh, so you did? Are you married now?
Yeah, I'm married right now.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah.
That's a blessing, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's even better.
Too. Yeah,
That's
come
even
through
better.
the trenches like me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was back and forth coming to see you.
Yeah, every week, man.
Copy.
Every week, man, coming to see me, taking that long ass ride, man, through those woods and all that, and dealing with them. I won't say white people, but dealing with those ignorant individuals,
Right.
man, who tried to stop us.
Exactly. They didn't want to see that bond.
Yeah,
they wanted to break that bond. Because that's the main thing. That black love, they don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They don't want to see that black love because you know why? It's strong.
Yeah.
And they don't got that. You feel what I'm saying? That black love is strong. They don't got that.
Yeah.
So they jealous.
Yeah.
They jealous. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a blessing. I'm glad you came home to that.
Yeah.
Another question, because I know at 16 you moving around. Was your dad in your life?
My dad was always in my life, like I said earlier. That's my man. I love him.
Copy.
You know, and it's funny that you say that because I was one of the few family households on the block who had that. Most of the families didn't have that.
Didn't have no dad.
You know, they didn't have a dad. You know, my dad was there, and we had our abnormalcies. I believe is the word. But like I told you, we had love. My dad was there. He did the best he could. It wasn't his fault that I went to jail. It was my fault.
Copy.
In a sense.
Copy.
You know what
but I know he was there every step of the way.
Yeah, my man.
You.
Yeah, it's my man.
I could imagine, man. I could imagine because like I said, even you being locked up at 16 and the man you are now, you could tell that 23 years didn't stop you to become who you are now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could tell just by how the way you talk.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want real fast. I want to say something about my dad, just to mention.
No, go ahead.
A side point. I remember.
You still good, right? You still good?
I remember early on, he came to see me.
Right.
And he said he was going to get something to eat. And he asked me what I was eating or whatever the case may be. And I said pizza. And I said, Dad, you like pizza? We get you some pizza? He's like, no, John, I don't eat that. I said, why, Dad? He said, I don't eat nothing that I believe you can't eat.
That's deep.
I'm not gonna eat. I can't eat anything that you can't eat.
Right.
I understand it then.
Copy.
It took me about 10, 15 years to understand that.
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
In the set. And the way you talk, I know 23 years you read a lot of books.
Yeah.
A lot of books. Now I got this question for you.
Yeah.
Well, that first book that you read to put your mindset to where you be like, you know what, I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. I know I'm not coming home, but I'm gonna stay focused. From that book to what book kept escalating you to keep going?
Yeah, that's a good question. So for me,
because right now, sorry to cut you, right now I'm reading Napoleon Hill.
Okay.
How to own your own
mind.
mind.
I love him. Yeah,
How to own your own mind.
I love him. You know, he don't come from the background we come from, but
never.
Man, he's a genius.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I listen to a lot of his works.
Copy.
Yeah. But to answer your question, man, you know, and we all have our faiths and religion and ideology. I picked the Quran up, man. You know
I see. I was gonna jump into that. I was gonna ask you because I know in Philly you got a lot of. I don't want to miscorrect the word. Sunni Muslim.
Sunni, yeah,
right, cool. I'm sorry about that.
Sunni.
My bad.
No.
You feel me?
Yeah,
but I when I started coming to Philly, I always used to see everybody with the beards. With the beards. And they used to tell me, oh, the guys with the beards are the ones that was putting in more time.
Right.
Those are the ones that was putting in more work. They got more respect. Is that true?
Not necessarily. I think
that's a street thing.
Yeah, it may be a misconception.
Copy.
I think it's kind of largely what you said. It's a religious thing, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
Nowadays you can't kind of really tell because everybody kind of adopting the beard type of thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things that distinguishes individuals, and particularly me, is that you hold fast to what you believe in.
Copy.
And it shows through in your actions. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So for the most part, I try to allow my actions to reflect what I believed in, and which helped me along the way, like you asked me, in prison.
So what age was you? What age did you pick up the Quran?
Oh man, I had to be about 17.
Oh, you was still fresh.
Yeah. Let me tell you what happened.
Copy.
Why?
I'm with it.
Real fast.
I'm with it.
I got a friend.
Copy.
And he's not able to see this now because he's serving a life sentence.
Damn.
But he's a friend of mine, and he was a dude that when I was running around with the streets, you know, he had 4 or 5 or 6 homicides. You know, and the thing was, he and I were in the county jail. I was there for something I didn't do, but I knew he was there for a body that he did.
Right.
But guess what?
Y'all still connected.
But guess what? Now we family because we rode together on the street.
Copy.
But guess what? We were cellies, as we call them in Philly, or cellmates. So I always saw him praying, and he was Muslim. I wasn't at the time.
Right.
And I saw him fasting on him for Ramadan and just trying to be obedient to the teachings. And then one day he came back from court. He said, "Spank that." I said, "You beat the case?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Lord did that for you. Give me my shahada right now." And the shahada is like the testimony of faith.
Copy.
And it was symbolic to the work that he was putting in. For me.
Right.
To me, rather. Like I
and
saw
it was deep. You
I saw him being obedient versus how I knew him on the street.
Right.
And I said, God did that for you?
You change. You see the change.
I said, I know I'm getting the hell out of here.
Right.
Give me my shahada. And that's what we take when we enter to Islam. And that's how I entered into Islam.
Copy. So, by you picking up that Quran, I know you met a lot of good brothers.
Yeah,
a lot of good brothers. Tell me about that. Like, I know
man.
the brothers in there is real positive, no negative. You know what I'm saying? So how was that at 16? I know they took you under the wing.
Yeah, they did, man. And I'm fortunate because a lot of the individuals my age weren't so fortunate.
Right.
I got people that were raped and really abused and really violated. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine, man.
But they were really harmed deeply, man. But like you said, to answer your question, they were like fathers and brothers, man.
Right.
Like that we never had. You know what I'm saying? Or most of us anyway.
And you meeting all these new people
Yeah.
and just taking them in as family.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah,
That's deep, man.
It was like it was more than like a brotherhood as we call it. It was like family, man. They were family.
Right.
They're an extended family that I've never had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for you. And I know jail is not the best place to be at, but what was your best experience in there with the family?
Oh man.
Because I know y'all have some good times, because y'all know y'all not getting out right away.
Right.
So you got to make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to make the best. You got to make the best of everything. So how was that? What was your not a good experience, but you know, a memory that you could say, yo, I had a good time with this dude.
Yeah. So in Islam, we got a thing. Like I said, we do the fasting during the month of Ramadan.
Copy.
And
make sure y'all follow this man, man. Johnny Berry. Make sure y'all follow him. The story is deep, man.
Yeah. And after the 29 or 30 days, we do fasting, and then at the end of that, we have what we call our Eid or a festival.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying? And so all the brothers come together, and we in the spirit of belief and goodness and all those things you mentioned. We have a big feast, man.
Copy.
And we sit around, we laugh, we joke after 29, 30 days of hard fasting. And, you know, we tell stories and we enjoy each other's company.
How is that fasting for 30 days? Like, not eating, not drinking. Like, how does that work? Like, how do you do that? It's mind over matter.
Yeah, definitely.
Mind over matter.
Definitely. It's something that you grow accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time when I mentioned earlier, I went into the cell. I had to be about maybe a few weeks into the religion, into my fast. I broke my fast. I put that thing on the I started eating. Nobody saw me, you know. So it's an adjustment.
Right.
Like everything.
Now, if somebody did see you, like, how would that play out? Like,
Oh man, they're grind. As we say, they're grinding you up, man.
Yeah.
They're grinding you so but it's in a way to try to better you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's
push
what
you forward to do the right thing.
And that's kind of what the fast is for. Fasting is for purification. And we look at it like it's not just a physical purification, but also a spiritual.
Copy.
You know what I'm saying? Cleansing your body and your soul of what you did for the whole other 11 months. You know what I'm saying? For 1 month.
Got you. Well, shout out to that, because my brother, you know what I'm saying, he deal with the guard bodies.
Yeah.
So he be on this 120 lessons and stuff like that, and I be like, yo, listen, he's like, yo, I'm fasting, bro, I'm fasting.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I gotta eat, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely mind over matter. It's definitely mind over matter.
Yeah.
But my question, another question for you is, now that you did the 23 years and you're home, how is it? How is life out here? Because it's different from when you first went in. Now that you're out, how is it?
Life is wonderful, man. I can't. It's like bitter with the sweet, man.
Do you have any kids?
Yeah. I got a host of kids. I just had a 3-month-old son.
Oh,
about
man.
About to be 4 months, man.
God bless,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying?
God
Yeah,
bless.
thank you. So
That jail sentence didn't stop that man from coming out and doing what he had to do. He did. It didn't stop him. He came out and he didn't break him. Headstrong.
Yeah.
That's motivation, man.
Yeah.
That's motivation. So I know the streets is different. And now, when back in the day, it was real easy to flip out on somebody. Now that you done did them 23 years, I know you're more humble, you're more smarter. So anybody with the nonsense, you be like, you know what, bro, let me talk to you. Is that how it go now?
Yeah, and it's funny you said that.
Because the youth now is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because, like, coming home, man, and seeing the state that our people are in right now. That's why when I came home, myself and a few other brothers started an organization called Real Street Talk.
Yes, sir.
Mentor to the youth.
Tell them
And
where they can find it at.
You know
Tell
what
them,
I'm
let me
saying?
know.
Yeah, Real Street Talk, man, Philadelphia, man, like, it's a social, economic, and political institution. And we developed this concept behind the walls, man, saw a need to try to change what's going on out here in the streets, man, because we, unfortunately, were some of the pioneers. We made the mess.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like it's part of we feel like it's part of our responsibility to help clean up this mess. And to answer your question, man, we can't leave them neither, man. They're our family members.
Copy.
We love them, and by us reaching back to them and showing them that we love them,
Copy.
you know what I'm saying? We don't want them to go down the road that we went and I took. You know what I'm saying?
So all this information all this intake that you're giving these people, is there outlets that they can find you on? Is there any social medias that they can find you on?
Yeah, man. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
Copy. I'm definitely gonna follow the Twitter because I got them on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, you can find me on all major media mainstream.
Copy. I got one more question for you before we get up out of here.
Yeah.
When you left that facility, did any other correctional facility, the cops, did they give you love and tell you not to come back, live your life, and you know what I'm saying, we don't want to see you back here?
Yeah, so let me.
Because I know it's a lot of racism out there.
Yeah,
too.
so let me just be a little balanced, man. You got a lot of good people, man, who are on the opposite side of the criminal justice system.
Copy.
So yeah, man, I had a lot of people, man, wish me well. Hope that I do better out there, and they knew I would. You know what I'm saying? So
Copy.
I'm still in contact with a lot of them. Man.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, bro, I want to tell you, it was a pleasure and it was a blessing chopping it up with you. You feel
My
me?
pleasure, man.
And like I said, your story is going to be spread out to the youth, to everybody out there that's doing time, people that's out there that's being locked up for things that they didn't do. A lot of people want to know the story. A lot of people wanted to hear this interview. And like I said, it was a blessing and it was an honor to come out, for you to come all the way out from Philly to head to the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
to the RBN show.
It's all love, and if I could, man,
Yeah,
before we
definitely.
end, one thing, man, to the youth, man, anybody out there, man, who got the ambitions of going out and indulging and entertaining the criminal lifestyle that we call the game, man, my question to you is, who or what you stand to lose? I lost my brother. My brother was riddled with bullets. My mother had to pick him up outside the grass. Who or what you stand to lose? Your life, your morals, your integrity, somebody you love, you know what I'm saying? And for those that got the ambitions to go out there and entertain the streets, we say this. I think you should do 5 years in jail first.
See what it is.
Do 5 years in jail first.
See what it really
and then
like.
see if you got the same ambitions.
Man, listen, like I said, before we go, let them know your name again.
Johnny Perry, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Johnny
Y'all got
Perry.
all his outlooks, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know where to find them. This is Nutty New Bucks, man. This was an honor chopping it up with him. This is the RBN show, and we out of here, man. Like I said, y'all can look up all the outlets. Make sure y'all follow that YouTube button, man. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, subscribe, man. We need channels like this. Subscribe.
Yes, sir. We out of here.